If you're working along with the exercise files for this course, you're going to need to do a lot of importing existing files. To do that, you can simply create the default Java project. So you can go to File, New, Java Project. Now, of course, if we're working with a different type of project for that chapter, then you create the appropriate project for that chapter. For example, if I'm working in an Android project, you'd create an Android project, and so on. So I'll create a new Java project. I'm just going to use the default location in the workspace. I'll name this project Example. Then I'll hit Finish. And now I'm going to expand the example project. You'll notice there's a folder called SRC that holds the class files that we'll be working with. And now I'll tab over to Finder. The exercise files contain start and final versions. If you just see a folder called COM, that folder belongs in the source area of your project. So you can simply click and drag that COM folder right onto SRC. Choose Link to Files and Folders and click OK. And now I can expand SRC and I can see my appropriate class path. For other chapters, you won't just see a COM folder. We'll go back to Finder. For example, in Chapter 5, you'll see a whole batch of files. In the event that you see a lot of files, including the SRC folder, you can simply select all of those files, and I'm doing that now by shift-clicking the bottom one and then the top one, and just drag all of the files right onto the main source folder for the project. And that's not the SRC folder, but the main project folder. That's because we want to make sure that we overwrite all of the files inside of our project. In the event that you get a conflict when you're trying to create a project, you might have to go into your workspace and manually delete the files. You can see at the top of my screen that Eclipse is telling me that my workspace is in the Documents folder in a folder called Workspace. I'll go back to Finder, into the Workspace folder. In here, you can delete any folders as needed. So if you need to create a second project called Android_GB, for example, you can just delete that folder, and then you can create that same project with the same name without any problems.